I'm so excited because you guys are into emotions. I thought I was like the only one. So it's just so cool. So anyway, welcome to Emotion, the engine of behavior change. That's my opinion. And that's why we're here to talk about emotions. In my thinking, emotions are really the single most important thing. To me, the behavior does not really matter because it could be empty. I could mechanically walk over here and sit, but I didn't have the right attitude. I wasn't joyful. I wasn't happy. I wasn't having fun. And so training is not, in my view, about behavior. It's about feelings and about emotions and about creating joy in both the dog and the human. And that can be really challenging sometimes, right? Because the dog can be the easy part. The human doesn't want to smile or have fun, and you're like, come on, have fun. Training's fun. So, so these are our learning objectives. Basically, my fundamental message to you guys is I advocate for an eclectic approach. So what that means is like bringing in a lot of things, not just behavior analysis, not just etiology, but like as much stuff as you can, like drag it all in. It's all part of it. I'm a former mental health counselor, so I bring in a lot of active listening, which, eye contact and using your body language and stuff like that. And really, everything is important. I mean, everything that we do, it makes us more or less effective. So being aware of every little tiny thing and bringing in as many specialties. I know all of you must have like an amazing different background. I know Linda has like a lot of pharmacological stuff, and so we're such an eclectic group. If we learn all from each other, it's incredibly powerful what we can achieve. All right, so emotional learning, this is like so exciting. When I found this stuff, I was like, oh, this is so cool. I can't wait to like talk about this and write about it and stuff. So anyway, emotional learning is the most important part of what's going on when there's learning, because it's totally linked to survival. Because the emotions are the really important part. And we've talked about fear, but we're also going to talk about the happy emotions. So fear impacts memory and attention significantly. This is why we have such a problem reversing fear, right? And Dr. Overall said that her husband said, wouldn't it have been easier to prevent me frightening the dog than for us to have to do all this counter conditioning to fix it? That's why it's so hard to have one incident cause 7 sessions of training. That's why that happens, because fear is incredibly powerful. So emotional learning is a process that trumps all other learning processes because it's linked with survival. Emotional learning is frequently ignored or minimized, and this can lead to tremendous frustration for trainers, owners, and dogs. Because people will be like, I don't understand. Why is this like so resistant to being modified, or the Holy Grail extinguished? So fear learning is exceptionally persistent. Why? Because if the bear came in the room and we all barely survived, no pun intended, we'd want to remember that a bear was dangerous, right? I mean, can you guys see how that would be important? Because if one of us is like, oh, look, he's so cute, right? They become bear food. So when something is incredibly scary, it's incredibly important. And that link is really powerful. We'll talk more about that. All right, so take-home message. This is my favorite part. Okay, so anyway, we need to advocate for dogs to get with hopefully a veterinary behaviorist, or at least a veterinarian that has a special interest in behavior. If they have, what appears to be, we can't diagnose, but we can say, well, your dog, appears to have separation distress-related behaviors, so you need to see, right? So we need to close the gap on that and help the dogs get what they need. We can't see a challenge in mental illness, right? Because I remember at first I was like, I'm gonna help these people. This dog doesn't need meds, and then that didn't go so well because we were still working on the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. It's like having Groundhog Day lessons, and I'm like, well, this is not right because a person is paying me and we're having the same lesson over and over again because there's an internal setting event that's going, nope, This is what's going to happen.